Ms. Tom, welcome to the committee. You are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Chairman Huffman, Ranking Member McClintock, and distinguished members of the Subcommittee on Water, Oceans, and Wildlife. My name is Gloria Tom, and I'm the Director of the Navajo Nation's Department of Fish and Wildlife. The Navajo Nation is located in the Southwest and is the largest Indian tribe in the United States. Tribal nations have been blessed with a diverse array of fish and wildlife, many of which are biologically and culturally important to tribes. While some species are thriving, many more are facing increasing challenges and are in steep decline. The Navajo Nation's Department of Fish and Wildlife consists of a well-established comprehensive wildlife management program that encompasses big game, fisheries, wildlife law enforcement, and endangered species management. Many tribes have similar management programs. In addition to managing wildlife for biological and scientific purposes, we as natives also manage our wildlife for spiritual, cultural, and traditional purposes. A large part of the native way of life is centered on wildlife. As such, tribes have taken intelligent, creative, and responsible co-management of our fish and wildlife and plant resources very seriously. There are countless stories that exemplify excellent wildlife management, a few of which are outlined in my written testimony. Tribal nations like the Navajo have developed innovative programs despite a long history of being underfunded and excluded from federal funding opportunities. For example, tribes are not eligible to receive federal funding through the Pittman-Robertson-Dingell-Johnson programs, whereas state fish and wildlife agencies do. This is despite the fact that tribal lands and waters are used to justify state allocations. Since 2003, only $60 million has gone to tribes through the Tribal Wildlife Grants program that was created by Congress, a mere fraction of what is needed. These grants are competitive and they basically result in tribes competing against each other for funding. I've seen this problem firsthand as director of the Navajo Nation Department of Fish and Wildlife. We are responsible for managing wildlife on 18 million acres of land. As of fiscal year 2019, funding allocations to our department equated to approximately 20 cents per acre. For context, the state of West Virginia, a state with a comparable land base, received $2.86 per acre. Consequently, our department is grossly underfunded and understaffed. That's why the passage of the Recovering America's Wildlife Act is so important. The tribal title would provide $97.5 million in dedicated funding for tribal nations. If passed, the Navajo Nation will be able to establish an invasive species management program and an information and education program while also improving our outdoor recreation facilities and technical capabilities. Tribal nations have worked for many years to ensure a tribal title was added to this legislation, and now that it is included, tribes are enthusiastically supporting its passage. The title was developed to reflect critical issues facing tribes, such as ensuring long-term, stable, and consistent funding that acknowledges tribal sovereignty and Indian self-determination. As of this week, over 60 tribes have provided support letters endorsing the tribal title. The Native American Fish and Wildlife Society and the affiliated tribes of Northwest Indians have also passed resolutions supporting the bill. Finally, I want to make a couple of points about the other reason we are here today, the Wildlife Corridors Conservation Act. Nationally, tribes have exhibited leadership in identifying and maintaining the pathways wildlife and fish need to move through the landscape to migrate, breed, and find food, water, and cover. The Wildlife Corridors Conservation Act will support the work tribes have been doing and provides federal recognition of tribal wildlife corridors nominated by tribes. Designation of tribal corridors will enable tribes to apply for funding through the Wildlife Management Grants Program established in the bill. This bill also addresses one of the main challenges facing migratory corridors: coordination across federal agencies, states, and private landowners. With passage of these two bills, Congress has the opportunity to provide much-needed funding to the 573 federally recognized Indian tribes across the country that have wildlife management responsibilities on tribal lands. These two common pieces of These two pieces of common sense legislation will streamline the work already happening on the ground and will provide a foundation necessary for tribal nations to protect wildlife. Thank you for your time.